in the
last night.
hospital.
I tend to go to
But she's
bed
still
early, and I
sleeping in the hospital bed. She gets to wear her own clothes, but
So I get up last night and go,
she's ready to be out.
All right, so we will get started, folks, and welcome this evening. And I'll call the meeting to order, and would you like to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Mary, roll call.
Olson.
Here.
Collins. Johnson.
Here.
Kellum.
Here.
Kupczynski.
Here.
Coburn.
Here.
And Collins is excused. Okay, first on the agenda this evening is Extra Mile Day. And this is a proclamation for Extra Mile Day for November 1st, 2015. Whereas Albany is a community which acknowledges that a special vibrancy exists within the entire community when its individual citizens collectively go the extra mile in personal effort, volunteerism, and service. And whereas Albany is a community which encourages its citizens to maximize their personal contribution to the community by giving of themselves wholeheartedly and with total effort, commitment, and conviction to their individual ambitions, family, friends, and community. And whereas Albany is a community which chooses to shine a light on and celebrate individuals and organizations within its community who go the extra mile in order to make a difference and lift up fellow members of their community. And whereas Albany acknowledges the mission of Extra Mile America to create 550 Extra Mile cities in America and is proud to support Extra Mile Day on November 1st, 2015. Now therefore, I, Sharon Canopa, Mayor of the City of Albany, do hereby proclaim November 1st, 2015 to be Extra Mile Day, and urge each individual in the community to take time on this day to not only go the extra mile in his or her own life, but to also acknowledge all those who are inspirational in their efforts and commitment to make their organizations, families, communities, country, or world a better place. And witness whereof I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Albany to be affixed this 28th day of October 2015. And this one I always feel is very timely for November because we have our upcoming event of Veterans Day Parade, and boy, does everybody go the extra mile for that parade. So we can all be proud of all the efforts that our community puts in for that wonderful parade. So, okay, next is the second reading of the ordinance, and this is one that has been on the dais a few times. This is one that was at a work session and was voted to be moved forward, so. Okay.
Yeah, business from the public on the agenda first.
Oh, you're all right, but there wasn't anybody here.
Hey, John, is no one?
Sorry, so business from the public. Hello, John. Hello. Hello, also, yeah. Yeah, great seeing such a good turnout tonight. Okay, all right, second reading of ordinance.
This is an ordinance amending Albany Municipal Code, Chapter 2.27, Community Development Commission.
Okay, all right.
Move for adoption of the ordinance.
Second?
Okay, and is there any discussion?
Yes.
Okay,
I renew my earlier objection. I think it is in the best interest of every commission that it be appointed by a broad base of the council. I realize others think otherwise, but that's my opinion, so that's all I'm going to say.
okay, all right. Anything else? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, roll call.
Olson.
Yes.
Collins. Collins is not here. Johnson.
No.
Kellum.
No.
Kupczynski.
Yes.
Coburn.
Yes.
That's 3-2. so
All right, this will have to be held over another time, and sorry, staff, you're going to have to do some more processing of the same item, so, okay. Next is first reading of ordinance.
This is an ordinance to levy assessments against property specifically benefited by sewer connections and the assessment of sewer and transportation system development charges for property described as tax lot 01010 of parcel 11S 3W 18B, site address 353 Southwest 29th Avenue, and declaring an emergency.
I'll make a motion the ordinance be read a second time in title only.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
An
second
ordinance to
reading.
levy assessments against property specifically benefited by sewer connections and the assessment of sewer and transportation systems development charges for property described as tax lot 1010 of parcel 11S 3W 18B, site address 353 Southwest 29th Avenue, and declaring an emergency.
Make a motion for adoption of the ordinance.
Second.
Okay, all right, any discussion? The only thing I did notice, I was looking up this property to see where this was, and I believe the property LLC is ARRT, not AART. So you just might want to make correction on that. Okay, all right, anything? All the,
Is there anybody opposed to this? The people who are doing it, are they opposed? Is there any question?
We've had no remonstrances, or usually it's done at the request of the
Right.
parties in order to be able to develop it, so yeah.
That's, okay, thank you.
okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried. All right, next is a resolution on page 17, and this is for the fire department. So, Chief?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, we're requesting, the Fire Department is requesting approval for exemption from the competitive bidding requirements to purchase 6 Zoll X-Series heart-monitored defibrillators through a contract with the League of Oregon Cities, the lead contracting agency for the national purchasing partners. The Fire Department has used Zoll heart-monitor defibrillators for approximately about the last 14 years, and so we're very familiar with the brand. And one of the things that we get from purchasing these monitors and staying with that brand is that interoperability with our current system, and also the familiarity that our crews have when working with a similar piece of equipment. Because of that, we want to work through the National Purchasing Partners Program to be able to purchase them and waive the competitive bidding process. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, questions?
I just had, Chief, is there any use for the old ones? Or can they be refurbished, or?
So what we do with the monitors, and we've done this for quite some time, is that the ones that are frontline currently on the ambulances that we have, they will go onto the engines.
Okay.
And then the ones that are on the engines, which are approaching 14 years old, they're not serviceable anymore. So technology has changed, and
Sure.
Zoll basically said we won't continue to service those. Those, they do allow us to trade them in, and they will actually give us $1,500 per monitor as a trade-in, and that's reflected in the purchase price.
So it sounds like they can do something with them anyway.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Okay, what would you like to do with this item?
Move for adoption of the resolution.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried. And next you have one, that's a resolution on page 25, type
Correct.
6 fire engine.
Correct.
Good idea.
And so our request tonight is to appropriate $118,200 from the current year general fund beginning balance to equipment replacement to purchase a Type 6 engine. Type 6 engine is a smaller engine. It's a what we would refer to as a brush engine, four-wheel drive, a smaller water tank, usually somewhere between 200 and 400 gallons, for going off-road, for being able to access portions of North Albany or Knox Butte that we may not be able to get a city engine, or what we would refer to as a Type 1 engine. In sizing-wise, Type 1 is a larger engine down to a smaller engine, which is a Type 6. This summer, and definitely the wildfire issues that we experienced throughout the state really highlighted the reason that we need this piece of equipment. We need to have it available. Fortunately, we didn't have any major incidents in our district, but we definitely responded out to Scioto, down south, Brownsville, Lebanon, Sweet Home, for some other ones on mutual aid. And so this piece of equipment is needed, and it's one that we need to replace from one that went out of service a few years ago. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, yeah, Bill?
You mentioned you got 3 quotes, and who is it you're buying it from?
It's actually being bought, the chassis of the vehicle, so it's the Ford F-550 is being bought from Roberson here in
Oh,
town. They
okay.
were the lowest of the 3.
Great, thank you.
Hey, Ray?
I know a while back, we purchased a repurposed EMT vehicle on a different frame. If I remember right, we got a different box to extend the life of...
Same box, different frame.
Yeah. Is that something that can be done on this type of a process also?
Not so much, because the brush engines or Type 6 engines that we've had in the past have been overweight, and so they've had mechanical failures. The one that we had to take out of service was because of that reason. The current one that we have, we actually had to choose this summer whether we were going to set it up to be prepared to fight wildland fires or tow the boat on a water rescue call. It's overweight with the 200 gallons of water. It only carries 200 gallons of water, and it's overweight with the passengers inside. And so in order to tow the boat, we've got to drain the tank down to 90 gallons, which obviously takes time, and at the time of emergency, that's not the time to be doing it. And so we made the choice this summer that we weren't going to use it primarily to tow the boat. We were going to have it set up to fight the wildland fire that potentially was going to come in. So the current vehicles we have really they're early 1990s vehicles, and they were just on a F-350 chassis. And with what we need something larger than what we currently have.
Okay, what would you like to do with this item?
Move for adoption?
Second.
Okay, any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, Chief. And next is a resolution. This one would be on page 27, and this is approving an extended property tax abatement agreement between City of Albany and co-sponsor of the South Santiam Enterprise Zone and Snow Temp Cold Storage. This is for the expansion of Snow Temp. What would you like to do with this item?
Move to,
Move?
move.
Motion? Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay.
Question?
Uh-huh.
This has gone past all the hurdles in our planning and et cetera process?
They already been hauling tons of dirt for there. They've already started the building on it.
Oh, so it's kind of after the fact, then?
No. No, John wants to speak, but not from back there, John. You got it. If you're going to speak, you got
You know better than that.
yeah, come on.
John Pascone, Albany Millersburg Economic Development Corporation. They have to put an application in for this exemption before they start construction, but they've been planning it with Kate and I for probably a year and a half. So they go through the proper land use channels, and this application, as long as we get it or I get it before they start construction, they're good. But I think they've got permits and
Well, they need
moving
permits
along.
before they start digging, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Well, they've been already hauling in
yeah.
dirt. I mean, it's raised up several feet,
Yep.
so, along there, but, yeah, they've been working on it for
And
several
regulations
months.
say they can actually start site work as long as they don't put footings in before the application comes in, so that's the only legal requirement.
Okay, all right.
Recommended option,
It's already been a motion.
second, third,
Yeah, it's already been
fifth,
second.
19th.
Just vote
Hike.
We're on discussion. Any more? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, all right.
Thank you very much.
John.
Thanks, John.
Okay, next, there's quite a few items this evening on the consent calendar, and if there isn't any items to be pulled off for discussion, then I'll entertain a motion.
I would move for the adoption of the consent calendar.
Second?
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
heard one aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed, same sign.
Well, at least there's no nose.
Okay, motion passed.
I mean, they.
All right, so we just kind of whipped through that agenda this evening, and next is business from the council. Bessie, anything?
Oh, well, I was talking to a businessman today who was close to one of our dispensaries, and he was telling me that it was open quite a while. Do we have any set hours for dispensaries right now?
No.
There's not, okay. He said it's like from 8 till 10 or more, or whatever and stuff, and so I was just wondering.
Oh, we do have a noise code, though. You have noise, if they're making noise, disturbing people.
Well, no, one of the things was they were putting signs out, well, in fact, this is the one out in your area, and they were putting signs in the right-of-way on the Highway 20 and covering up other people's signs, and so we had to go in there like 3 times to say, would you please stop that, that type of thing, because...
They're not supposed to put, businesses aren't supposed to put their sign off-site.
Yeah,
that'd be
especially
against
not
the
cover up
sign
somebody
code.
else's, and so, he's working
Yeah.
with them, but he says it's entertaining if nothing else.
All right, Bill?
No, thank you.
Nothing, Dick?
Persons.
Okay, Rich?
Yes, we've been talking through various committees about a parking structure downtown, and it occurred to me that having the parking structure down right next to Water Avenue might not be the best fit for the number of people to use it. And so I spied the current parking lot at Two Rivers, and just, I'd ask people to think about citing when the time comes to do it. I don't think now is the time. But when the time comes up, think about that spot as a place to have a parking structure.
And that was always in discussion. So there was actually, I believe, the care plan identified 2 parking structures. So one was on this end, and then the one downtown, one on the riverfront.
Well, it just occurs to me that when do we need parking? Overflow parking, I would think, would be needed in late afternoon and evening for businesses, and it could be used during the day for, especially when they have big trials next door, or there's a function. I mean, there would be a lot more parking, and it's just, I had the thought, and I just wanted to throw it out there and
Yeah.
let people percolate on it.
Right, no, it has always been a part of the discussion for years. It's kind of funny, I had met with some gentlemen on a different issue this afternoon, and they brought up about downtown, how they love seeing the changes and, beautifying the downtown, and they mentioned that we should get rid of parking, First and Second and Broad Albany, and keep it all as no parking and more of a public space. And, so I thought it's kind of interesting, we get some folks that want more parking, and then here we have some folks that don't want any parking, Well, and actually, they wanted the streets blocked off, don't even have it as streets, but.
Make one of those things, oh, wait a minute, I can't use that word.
Yeah, ask Eugene how well that works.
I know, so, and actually, I use that as an example. I said Eugene did that, but it's sort of, kind of downtowns are changing across America. They're becoming more of the malls, is downtowns, and so that's sort of, the pendulum might be swinging back to blocking off streets and downtown and having to just be more.
No traffic on our street?
No traffic, just be pedestrian oriented, so, yeah, but really
Have to
great.
park someplace, though,
Yeah, I know.
because there aren't enough people around here to.
We have our
Yeah,
individual jetpacks.
that'd be the parking garage.
Jetpacks, yeah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny, but it is great to hear, folks that really praise our downtown, so. but-
That's all I had.
Okay, all right. Ray, did you have anything? Okay, and the only thing I wanted to remind everybody is Veterans Day Parade, is on a Wednesday, so it's actually, 2 weeks? And so we've got the trolley reserved, and I think the time would be 10 o'clock again. And
Same place.
if you want to bring, I'll have flags. And if you want to bring, I think, Rich, you want to bring a big flag again?
Same location?
We never know, but I'm pretty sure it's on that side. They just usually say check in at Industrial Way, they'll let us know, but we can always find the trolley easily, but, so yeah, so we will be, have everybody planned. If somebody can't make it, just let me know, but, and I'll bring the banners and we can get all that hooked up as usual, so.
Does anybody know what the lowest hanging wire is? On the route?
Oh, I have no idea.
Bring a sailboat or what?
Oh, no, I was thinking, I have a titanium flagstaff.
I think by code, it's at least 15 feet, but
15, 16 probably, but, this is titanium, so if you hit a wire, it goes zzz, and,
Electrocute
Fry
us.
the council.
Yeah, the council got fried on Veterans Day because
several openings.
one of the veterans brought a titanium
Somebody
flagstaff.
might want to make sure that
Yeah,
happens
openings.
too, you never know. So, okay, so don't
Oh,
forget
yeah, there would be.
that, 2 weeks, so. Okay, I think that's it. Wes?
Just briefly, we had, this has sort of been International Week in Albany. We, as I said, met with some South Korean folks up at PSU on last week, and then they're coming down and touring tomorrow. Today, we had visitors from China that were looking at our wastewater treatment plants, and they were there with a professor from the University of Oregon, and of course, we have our 2 fellows from Cambodia and the Philippines, so we're getting international interest in our community these days. It's fun to have them here.
Oh, they are fun. Okay, anything else? Staff have anything? So, yeah, Jeff?
Just one quick item. So, update on the Crocker Road or Crocker Lane Street project. So the last time we talked with you about that project was when we were setting up the funding agreement with Benton County and with Miles, and previously before that, we were talking about the formation of the LID itself. And when we were having all those discussions, we didn't know yet if we were going to be required to get wetland permits from both the Department of State Lands and the Corps of Engineers. And so we have been told now that we will be required to obtain those permits. So it's likely that construction on Crocker will take place in the summer of 2017 instead of 2016, as we might have otherwise hoped. We're still going to move as fast as we can and get things into those agencies, but the process takes many months to get response from them. So it's likely, in order to bid in a time of year where we get favorable bids, we would need to hold that over a year from this winter or early spring. So I just want to make council aware of that. That's all I had.
So where's the wetlands at? Along the ditches or something? Is that it?
Essentially, it's a connectivity issue between the drainage ditches and if I remember correctly, there's 4 criteria that you could fall into that triggers that to have to obtain the permits and mitigate the wetlands, and we met 3 of the 4 criteria, and you only have to meet 1 of them in order to get pulled in.
Wow.
Ended up.
Yeah.
Regulating us.
Okay, all right. Okay. With that, we will recess to executive session to discuss real property transactions in accordance with ORS 192.6602E. Okay.